Hello everyone, welcome back to the 20 Dolph channel, and this is my 2006 Volkswagen Golf GTI Mk5. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is doing a complete overview of this car, so driving it, what's under the bonnet, everything else about this car you're going to see in this video. So let's get into it. Let's start around at the front of this beautiful Mk5 GTI. I just think the front end on this car, especially in Tornado Red, looks so damn good. A friend and I defogged the headlights the other day. They tend to get a bit yellow after time. It just looks so fresh. Like the front end on this car, best looking front end on a GTI model. Go have an argument with me in the comment section. I don't care what you say. I think this design, I love the Mk5. It looks so good. Like, this just screams GTI. I love the hexagonal shapes in the grills. Like, this is just such a GTI looking GTI. I love the front end. It looks really nice. Apart from this front bumper, you do have these little side skirts around the bumper as well, and a couple bonnet creases as well. Just your standard Mk5 shape other than the front bumper. The inside of the headlights on the halogens are blacked out, so usually this whole section here is silver on the regular Mk5, but for the GTI, they do black them out, so that is quite nice. Bring it around to the side of the GTI. This particular car is a 5-door variant. I do prefer the 3 doors like my R32. Looks very, very nice. But the 5-door, of course, is much more practical, and it still looks great. I really, really love how this car pops in Tornado Red. It's just, it doesn't look as good on camera as it does in person, but seriously, like, this paint is pretty notorious for a clear coat fade. This car's pretty much got none. And I haven't seen a Tornado Red GTI in the flesh without clear coat fade for a very, very long time. And it just looks so stunning. I'm just in awe with it. You've got color match trim along the side for the GTI model. This little black side skirt that runs across the lower section of the car there too. Then moving around to the wheels. So these are 18-inch GTI wheels. I think they're called the Detroits. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Detroits were maybe Mk6. I'm unsure of the name of these wheels, but they're very iconic. The 5-spoke design from the Mk5 GTI, very, very iconic wheel design, and it is a design that Volkswagen have tried to replicate with the 8.5 GTI, which I think is really, really cool. Yeah, no complaints about the wheels. You got red brake calipers, of course, to distinguish the fact it is a GTI. Upgraded brakes over a standard Mk5 Golf 2, all your typical expected things. I think the suspension is slightly lower than a standard Mk5 2, and it has a very, very nice sporty feel to it from factory, which is a very, very heavy positive. Moving around to the rear of this beautiful Mk5 GTI. Unfortunately, we do have a bit of window tint dramas. That's okay. We'll address this at a later date. Another thing as well, a little minor imperfection on this car is it has a little dent here. Other than that, the car's pretty clean. Yeah, a bit of a shame about that. Might have that pulled out at some point. Of course, you have your GTI badge along the left there to distinguish the fact, yes, it is a GTI. They did not tint the lights over the standard Mk5. They're just your standard Mk5 tail lights. A lot of people tend to throw Valios or the R32 tinted lights on it. I think I'll throw the R32 tinted lights on it, just distinguish it a little bit more from the body color. In terms of the lower bumper, a lot of people like to color match this lower section or take inspiration from the Pirelli edition or the 30-year GTI, where it is color matched and looks very, very nice. Common issue with the rear bumper, the standard one, is the little clips holding the lowest section off here. You can see it's kind of drooping down a little bit. They tend to snap, and it has done so on this car. The tow hook cover also does tend to fall off, which, again, this will all be addressed in due course. You have your dual tips as well to the left of the rear here. This car is completely stock factory exhaust system. So I'll give it a little start up and a rev, and you can let me know what you think about it. I think a lightweight flywheel is definitely necessary for this car, which is, it's fine. We'll address that later. But overall, a pretty nice, crisp tone from factory with this exhaust. Might do a resonator delete just to add a little bit more liveliness to it. Of course, I am a typical GTI and I've got to do it. Yeah, other than that, no complaints about the exhaust. Sounds very, very good for a 2-litre 4-cylinder. Let's go check out what's under the bonnet. Under the bonnet, of course, it is a hydraulic bonnet. We have the 2-litre turbo EA113 engine. Now, this engine is interesting. It's the BWA. Same engine that I actually had in my EOS. Not sure if you remember that, but yes, so 147 kilowatts, about 290 newton meters of torque. It's got plenty of pep, plenty of low end torque as well, surprisingly, and a very, very strong mid-range as well, I found with this particular motor, which is good. This engine's quite healthy at only 165,000 kilometers, does burn a little bit of oil, nothing out of the ordinary for an EA113. Yeah. Other than that, these engines are pretty known for carbon buildup. Just something to bear in mind. They also like to go through water pumps, and it's interesting because they did a little switch between timing belts and chains. So your earlier models, like this is a 2006, this has a timing belt which has been changed, thankfully. But your later models do have a combination. It's just weird. I'm not going to bother explaining all of that. It's a good engine. It runs, it drives. They can have problems. Try to get one that's been well looked after, because yeah, no, I've heard these can go wrong, especially tuned ones. If it's tuned, if it's been abused, you're most likely going to have dramas with these engines, unless it's been reputably tuned. Don't go to some backyard bloke out west who's offering a tune for $200. You're going to hate yourself for it later. So just be very careful when you're tuning the car. You can push quite a bit of power out of these, but yeah, just be careful who you go to for that. Having said that, let's go take a look in the interior. Stepping inside the interior of this beautiful GTI, of course, we are greeted with this GTI scuff plate and a very, very, very dirty side sill there. Still need to give the car a proper detail. To greet us, we have this lovely leather-wrapped steering wheel with perforations either side. Exact same steering wheel you get in the Mk5 R32. And that is a brilliant thing, because this is such a nice steering wheel. I'd argue still it is the best steering wheel I've ever felt in a Volkswagen. Seriously, they just got it so right. It's the perfect amount of width. It just feels so comfortable as well. Like, even if you're not doing performance drive, like sporty driving, you just want to drive it normally. Like, it just feels great to hold. It's a very, very nice feeling steering wheel. Up front, we do have our gauge cluster, of course, being analog, and it's got the semi-digital display as well, not the full thing like my R32 does. Yeah, 165,000 Ks on the clock here. Very, very nice and good. In 2008, they did like a little mid-cycle update facelift thing, where they take these buttons and make them physical buttons, because a common issue is the rubber starts to peel over these buttons. Yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. Moving around, it's your standard Mk5 stuff. We do have this silver trim for the GTI, which is nice. I think this light switch has seen better days, but we'll ignore that. We'll give that a pass. The door cards on the 5-door Mk5s don't seem to peel as badly as they do on the 3-doors. Because my old R32, my 5-door R32, never had a peeling issue. This GTI doesn't have one, but my 3-door Mk5 R32 has that issue. So I think it's just to do with the width of the door, the amount of material having to be used, etc. That is all fine. Yeah, this car is not optioned with a sunroof, thankfully, because Mk5 sunroof drains are notorious for clogging and causing some very, very nasty mold inside this car, which obviously we do not want. So the lack of a sunroof is a very, very desirable option on these Mk5 GTIs. Moving around to the center, I have not done the RCD head unit yet, so this is still the standard factory radio. It's fine, it works, but you can obviously get the genuine retrofits to integrate Apple CarPlay and all of your lovely, lovely features. This car does have the leather interior. You can get these with the tartan seats, the cloth seats, the typical crazy GTI seats, which everyone loves. I prefer the leather seats. They're just more comfortable, I feel. They look better, and of course you get the heated seat settings, which I can't live without. So I'm very, very pleased this car has the leather interior. Aircon controls here. It's all standard Mark 5 stuff. Works as expected, nothing too special there. This particular car is a 6-speed manual, which I love. It is honestly, I'll go out and confidently say this, it is the best feeling GTI I've ever driven. Seriously, this is a more fun car to drive than a Mark 7 GTI or anything like that, which of course we will get into in the proper review, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying this manual transmission really does add to all of that experience, and there are no complaints I have about it. Moving around, you do have this little slidey thing here, of course, with my Monster. They do come from factory with a little bowl opener, which is missing on a lot of these, including this car. And here you have a little storage area, bit of mold. Bit of mold and stuff there. Back seats, they're relatively comfortable. Headliners are commonly, they do commonly sag, so that of course has happened on this car. But yeah, other than that, I think we should go ahead and take this thing for a little drive. Here we are in the beautiful Mark 5 GTI as we start it up and roar it into life. We have our empty mango loco here, so I'm going to finish the last few drops. Go home, and let's get straight into this. All right, so started off, drive it pretty sedately, very comfortable to drive. For a car that's almost 20 years old, there are next to no interior rattles in this thing. If I put the windows up, apart from the Monster can, you hear a little bit of road noise, but in terms of interior creaks and rattles, next to none. Literally next to none. Drop a gear, chuck it into the corner. I did just put new tyres on this car today, and I just got the whatever the cheapest one was. I don't even know what they're called. But even with these tyres, it handles so bloody well. It's not funny. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Oh, it needs an alignment badly though. It's a little bit how you going. We're coming out to our first little straight, so I'll put the windows down so you can hear the standard exhaust system. Because this thing, it gets up and moves. Yeah, if you're wondering what that noise is, that's the headliner. That's the headliner keeping it up kind of solution. So don't read into that too much. Yeah, this thing, it gets up and goes, and throwing it into the corner, it's just like, it fills you with so much confidence. Like, it's a very dynamically capable car. It doesn't hesitate around the corners at all. In a straight line, it's got plenty of punch. I don't even understand why people go ahead and modify the living hell out of these. Like, I get it, right? One of my mates up in Queensland, you may have seen a review of his GTI, Reflex GTI, Mr. Sir Reflex. He's put a bloody Mark 6 Golf R engine into his car, completely set it up for the track. Like, that thing's a beast, right? But if you just want a little bit of a car for the weekend, just to chuck around some corners, whilst also being versatile enough to daily, seriously, the Mark 5 GTI is the perfect solution. Perfect solution. Like, I can't think of a more balanced, well-appointed vehicle than a Mark 5 GTI. Seriously, I love these things. And I never understood the hype around the Mark 5 generation in particular until I got this car and I drove it. And I went, oh my gosh, I genuinely think this is better to drive than my R32. And it is. In all honesty, it is. The R32 is very heavy in the front end. And it's very hard to drive it hard around corners because it's so heavy in the front end. But this, it just feels so much lighter, much more nimble. It's got a bit more kick to it, I feel, over the R32. And it handles the corners so effortlessly. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It's such an impressive platform, this. Really, really impressive. The Mark 5 platform, I can't say this enough. I love the Mark 5. It is the perfect Volkswagen, I think. And I don't think they can match it ever again. It's a very, very impressive car, and I love it a lot. I love it so much, I'm replacing my first car, my ES300, my Lexus ES300, I'm replacing it with this GTI. And I never thought I would sell that car, but I well and truly want to keep this car in my life after driving it. I need a Mk5 GTI. This one, it goes perfectly with my R32. It's pretty much launch spec. It's the spec I want, and like, it feels so good to drive. Now that I've driven it, I don't want to stop. Like, there are imperfections the car does have. I think it needs new tie rod ends at the front, new control arm bushings, a couple of little small things, but seriously nothing that major. It's all pretty good to go, and I'll do a couple of little mods here and there, like just basic stuff, I suppose, not over the top. This is very much going to be a little bit of a mess around car, so yeah, I'm excited for it, very, very excited for it, because I seriously think the Mk5 GTI is the best GTI that is out there, and although that opinion might not be respected by everyone, it's an opinion that I am definitely going to stick with, because I love this car. I actually, well and truly, am obsessed with driving this car. It feels amazing. So, yeah. Closing thoughts on the Mk5 GTI. Love it. Think it's the best GTI they've ever made. And in terms of value for money, you seriously can't go wrong with one of these. Even the DSGs as well, you got to look out for the typical DQ250 dramas, but a manual, it's a pretty safe bet. Like, you're not really going to have transmission issues, you just have to worry about flywheel and clutch. Other than that, the EA113s, they're a bit hit or miss. This engine does burn a little bit of oil, but that's fine. They're all pretty, they pretty much all do that. That's just an expectation. Just keep a bit of oil in the back of the car and you're pretty much good to go. Yeah, look, honestly, 10 out of 10 car, highly recommend buying one. Feels amazing to drive. Seriously, it's one of the best cars I've ever driven. Yeah, very, very, very good car, lives up to the hype. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. Just love it. Go buy one, and I'll catch you in the next video.